Today, we'll be explaining a very simple video. Why Democrats are screwed if they lose Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania does not become a battleground state anymore. We are also adding New Mexico, New Jersey, and New Hampshire, a lot of new states, and Virginia into the battleground states. I think they should be classified as battleground states, but I classify them as states within 10 states that are, within the margin of error, obviously, but today we'll be talking about and we will talk about why the Democrats would struggle in the 2030s as well, why the Democrats will not win elections if they get their acts together, but there is one state that could screw over the Democrats. No, it's not Georgia. Okay, them in Georgia would actually be a good thing as well. But there is a state that is trending inverse of Georgia, and that is Pennsylvania. Yes. So Pennsylvania has slowly been creeping against Democrats. That's a state that, Democrats used to say, hey, it was a part of the blue wall. Basically the Democrat election strategy would be like this. They would win these states. They would win New Jersey, and they would win the election. They would win the election by winning the blue wall as well. They would win New Jersey, and they would win the election by winning the blue wall. However, that election strategy is, especially in the 2040s, we're not updating the map for the 2040s, obviously, but the blue wall solution is not, not going to be the way to win anymore for Democrats. Democrats will have to find alternative ways and alternative paths. North Carolina is a battleground too. I always forget North Carolina's battleground because the Republicans always win North Carolina. So you assume it's kind of like considering the fact that Democrats always win Minnesota and we have it listed as a battleground as well. Democrats always win New Mexico, but New Mexico was within 5. Okay, last election. Okay, North Carolina will be listed as a battleground now. Sorry for the mistake as well. Yeah. But let's say we have Republicans. Republicans outgain North Carolina. Of course, it's not going to be like Florida, obviously, but it could be a lean Republican to sometimes even safe because Republicans are still gaining in the voter registration in North Carolina. Republicans now an active voter rules have a 50,000 vote advantage, which, yes, independents could still sway to stay blue, but as we go in more west and west likely, so let's just have the map like this. If Republicans win Pennsylvania and win Arizona, because Arizona could honestly not be a swing state anymore. Okay, it was won by like 6. So, we'll make Arizona, North Carolina. Let's say Republicans win both of those states in 2032. I would say as well. They win Nevada. And then they win Pennsylvania. Okay. There's no way Democrats would win. Even with the change in electoral votes, that'll be in 2040. Because guess what? All the states gain electoral votes is Republican states. So, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Texas, Florida, and also, I think Georgia will gain one, but Georgia is a swing state, so all the red states will gain. This victory will even be bigger. So even if Democrats won every other state as well, and also let's not forget about the trends happening in New York. New York will become a battleground in the future, which will basically screw over Democrats, and also Illinois as well here. And what's funny? Everybody always tells us Scott Presler, gave Trump second term, but Scott Presler mostly focused on Pennsylvania. He didn't focus on Nevada and Arizona. Those states Trump won. And, Trump still won basically almost all the Sun Belt, which I think was the kind of the most important, like, the states that Trump's campaign kind of focused on the most, besides Pennsylvania, obviously, as well here. But, but Pennsylvania. If Pennsylvania does become a safe Republican state, Democrats can basically kiss goodbye to the White House at the current moment if they don't reform or change as well. If Democrats reform, they do have a chance of winning back Pennsylvania, and it becomes a battleground again. Okay, I don't think Nevada and Arizona will become battlegrounds again. Okay, those states are becoming basically safe Republican states. They're moving towards the Republican Party. I just don't see them shifting back towards the blue as well. The only state that's really shifting towards the blue is Colorado, and I think Kansas, just in Nebraska, but like Democrats could try to win Nebraska and Kansas, but it'll be very difficult as well because those states, and especially Utah, like there's all these memes that the only state that I think, the only red state I think Democrats could flip is Alaska, but that's only 3 electoral votes, which could still block Republicans from the White House, which means they would have to actually win over these other states. Oh wait, Idaho, Utah, and Arizona get one more electoral vote, which still gives the Republicans the victory. Texas, I think, gains 4. Florida gains 3. So, Republicans would have still like 278 electoral votes as well. And all the blue states would lose like 1. So, Oregon, California would lose 1. PA would lose 1, but, which means Republicans would lose an electoral vote. New York would lose several. Rhode Island would be down to 3 measly electoral votes. And so, no wonder why Democrats want to abolish the electoral college, because the electoral college is going against the way. That's probably why, as well. So, also, if the electoral state compact, actually was a real thing, Trump would have won. If the electoral vote state compact was a thing, would have won the electoral votes of every blue state as well. Yeah, this is an electoral state compact was an actual thing. This would basically be the map if the electoral state compact was a thing. Trump would basically win every state simply because the Democrats basically screwed themselves over. Okay, let's clear that. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, but basically, let's just say these are the safe Republican states, in the future, safe Democrat states, currently, Illinois. Actually, I clicked on Illinois. Yeah, New York. Yeah, but also we gotta give Democrats Hawaii as well. Yeah, and all the rest of the states are swing states or battleground states as well. Yeah, these are like the battleground states. There's now we have Trump has basically expanded the map. There's now 127 battleground electoral votes, obviously, as well. Here, these are states of 5, obviously. Here, okay. Oh, we forgot the New Jersey. New Jersey was basically by 5. New Jersey has become a battleground state at this point. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, this is a pretty bad map for Democrats because Republicans have already a higher 4, and if they make, let's say, Arizona a safe red state, North Carolina goes Republicans, on a standard night, and then let's say they say on a standard night Pennsylvania goes Republican. Democrats, win New Mexico, they win Minnesota, they flip back Georgia, and they win New Hampshire. Okay, and they win Maine at Wards, which is down to these 5 states. Republicans win Nevada, Democrats win Virginia, and they win. Actually, they lose and also there's another state Democrats could lose too, Michigan. It's not just Pennsylvania; it's Michigan too. Michigan is going exactly the same way Pennsylvania is going. Okay, which is very bad for the Democrats too, because Michigan and Pennsylvania could go, and Republicans win both of these states and North Carolina, and there is no way Democrats could win the election. Okay, even if Wisconsin becomes a blue state, and Georgia becomes a blue state, Michigan and Wisconsin could go, because they always make the meme that these states all three of these states always go together, but I don't think that will always be the case. Obviously, that was mostly because that was the blue wall, so these three states always vote together. But Wisconsin was actually the closest to the three. Michigan actually voted on par with Pennsylvania, and both Pennsylvania and Michigan are demographically very similar as well, which means this is a very, very bad, for Democrats, as all Republicans have to do is basically when these three states, and they're at 269. They win Arizona, they win the election. Okay, and Arizona, they say in Arizona, well, Arizona is gained for Republicans too. Nevada is gained for Republicans. So this is just a very, very bad map for the Democrat Party, because, and also look at the fact that the red states like Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Texas, and Florida are all gaining electoral votes. Okay, as well. Even if Utah manages and Alaska flip blue, okay, as well on a bad night, Republicans would still get a decent. Also, they forgot to make Texas safe red, and I was like, why? Even on a good night, this is even if the trends in Utah and Alaska accelerate as well. There's still no way. Even if they lose Kansas, another state that's going towards Democrats, Republicans still win the election. And really, there would be toss-up states too. So there would become toss-up states, which means there would be swing states. But even then, we can go over the trends in New York and Illinois. If you want to use those examples, was to expand the map to 144 safe Democrat electoral votes. And the only reason why Democrats get so many electoral votes to begin with is because they have all the populated states as well. And let's just say these states go, the electoral map changes to be like this. Democrats struggle because they would have to fight in New York. So they would probably still lose these states anyways. Okay? Because they'll have to fight in New York and Illinois too. Okay? And New Jersey. Okay? As well, they'll have to fight in all three of these states, which used to be reliably blue states. Same thing of Virginia, same thing of New Hampshire, same thing of New Mexico. Because the Hispanic trends, I don't think they'll slow it down. So let's say New Hampshire becomes safe Republican. New Mexico trips in this scenario. Okay? And of course, they win Michigan. Even if they do lose Kansas and Utah, Republicans can easily just make up the ground in the trends in the New York area and win 300 electoral votes. Okay? And win Illinois too. Okay? And let's just say a map looks like this. Which is very possible. Very possible we could see a map in the 2030s look like this as well. Yeah, New York may not be as big as, may be not as big, but New York could very well vote Republican if it trends another 10 to 15 points in the next elections. And New Jersey, it would become a Republican state too. Or at least Republicans would win the state at the national level. Same thing with Illinois. Illinois was plus 10 Democrat. Okay, which is unheard of. Which means we might see a future where Illinois votes Republican and Wisconsin votes Democrat. Because Wisconsin, I think, is going towards the Democrats because of Dane County and, Milwaukee County. Okay, as well. But Democrats are kind of just screwed here. Okay, because if we will accelerate the trends in Kansas, Alaska, as well, we gotta accelerate the trends in Wisconsin, in states like Illinois, states like New York, states like New Jersey, states that are trade away from the Democrats, as well. And people put that's not. But look at the election of 2024. Okay, Illinois went from D plus 17 in the 2020 election to D plus 10. New York went from 23 for Biden to just 11 for Harris. And of course, New Jersey went from Democrat plus 17 to Democrat plus 5. Okay. Virginia was halved, but Virginia basically turned the nation as well. But the big trends, the reason why Trump won the popular vote was he did way better in New York, New Jersey, and Illinois, and also California too. And let's not even have the discussion about California too. I think California will stay safe blue. Okay, but there was a serious discussion to have about Illinois and New York. Okay, these two states are going away for the Democrats, which means Democrats have to think of a new strategy to win. They have to find new states to win, as well. But the problem is they can't really win Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania unless they reverse the voter registration trends in those states. Even Kansas as well as Utah. They have to reverse the voter registration trends in these states as well in order to win elections again. And there you go. That is it about the struggles of the Democrat Party in 2025 as well. Also, the Democrats have the lowest approval amongst any political party at Gen Z. Yeah, Gen Z hates Democrats, which is a death spiral, a nail on the death spiral for the Democrat Party. Will Republicans do anything about it? Probably not, because the Republican Party is still very weak as well. Yeah. And yeah, that's what this video. Goodbye.